everyone. Happy Monday morning. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and you are tuning in for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So the first thing I want to talk to y'all about is the EB2 and EB3 perm-based green card backlogs. So we know that those two categories of green cards are currently backlogged, some of which are horribly backlogged. But my question for you is, have you considered ways around the backlog? Meaning, have you considered EB1 Extraordinary Ability Green Card and EB2 National Interest Waiver Green Card? So for my clients, we are looking at whether or not they would qualify for EB1 or EB2s. The benefits of EB1s and EB2s are that you bypass the perm process, which right now is taking conservatively about 2 years by the time you get your prevailing wage, and then you do your advertising, and then you wait for the Department of Labor to process. We're looking at roughly 2 years. So with the EB1 Extraordinary Ability and the EB2 National Interest Waiver, you've already cut off 2 years. Second, currently in July this month, the Visa Bulletin puts the EB1 Extraordinary Ability current for folks in the world except for China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines. So if you are not in one of those 4 countries, this month in July, you have the ability to file your EB1 Extraordinary Ability and your adjustment of status at the same time. So this is something that I wanted to bring to your attention. Certainly, I am not saying that everyone will qualify for an EB1 or a national interest waiver, but I think it's certainly worth a look, and a look and evaluation and analysis to see if that is an option for you. You can self-sponsor both the EB1 Extraordinary Ability and the National Interest Waiver. And both of these green card applications can be done at the same time, even if you have an EB2, EB3 perm-based application that's pending. So it's certainly worth a look. It's certainly worth having that analysis done, especially if it's going to speed up your green card. So that is something that I wanted to bring to your attention, because I know that we are doing that for my clients in my firm. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about, I didn't lead off with H-1B because I know y'all are tired of hearing about H-1B, but here we are, H-1B a little bit more. So the first round lottery applications were due June 30th, so that was last week. We have not heard if there's going to be a second round of lottery picks. We haven't heard anything yet. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. As soon as we do hear anything about that, if we hear anything about that, I will certainly let you know. But I did want to let you know that as of right now, we haven't heard anything. I have been getting a couple of questions about that. So I wanted to kind of address that for everyone that tunes in on Monday mornings with me. The next thing I want to talk to y'all about is kind of goes under a little bit of delay. We don't have a whole lot of information yet. That's kind of a running theme with immigration. So a couple weeks ago, DHS announced that they were creating a process to help individuals that came into the U.S. without documentation and that are currently married to United States citizens become lawful permanent residents / green card holders without having to leave the U.S. Huge news. Everybody was talking about it. I took a slightly more conservative approach because I've worked with colleagues in the immigration agency, and I know it's going to take a while for them to come up with those printed regulations and get them printed and published and do all the things that need to happen internally within the agency. So the agency has said that they think we're going to have this ready and up and running by the end of summer. It's already the beginning of July. I think an end of summer rollout date is very, very aggressive. But again, I would be super happy if it came out at the end of summer. But to date, a couple weeks after the announcement, we haven't heard anything about specifics. So I can't tell you whether or not we have a new form, whether they're going to sort of retrofit an existing form. I don't know what the all important filing fee is going to be yet. So I don't have that information. So if you think you qualify, what I will say to you is start getting your documentation ready. And we talked about this last week. Start getting your documentation ready to show that you have been living consistently in the US from June 17th, 2014. That is the best thing that you can do for yourself right now while we wait for immigration to give us more details. So if that is your library card borrowing history, if that is your school attendance history, if that is the fact that you got a degree while here in the US, if your name is on a lease, all the things that say that you have been in the US, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself right now. But I wanted to make clear that we don't have anything yet from the Immigration Service on how to actually start these applications. And the last thing I wanted to talk to y'all about this morning is the National Visa Center. So the National Visa Center, as we know, works in between USCIS, outside counsel like myself, and the consulates overseas. What they do primarily is collect documents, review them, make sure that they are sufficient, and then work with NVC to get interview dates scheduled on the books for green card applicants and for fiancé visa applicants. Oftentimes you are working through their computer system, which is CEAC affectionately. It is super important to read all the notices that you get from National Visa Center. In one of sort of the beginning notices that they send to you, they say to you that you must keep in contact with the National Visa Center at least once a year, or the National Visa Center will close your case. So if they close your case, depending on how quickly you realize it's been closed, you can repay the visa filing fees and have them reopen the case. But if you find out that your case has been closed or life happens and it's been too far gone for the NVC will just close your case and send your information back to USCIS. So you don't want that to happen. It obviously adds much more time to your process. So if you are currently working with NVC, if you currently have a case with NVC, make sure that you are at a minimum logging into your SEAC account at least once a year. Ideally, log in once every 6 months. Even better, log in once a quarter. Give them a call, ask them for a status update, do something, have some sort of communication or contact with NVC so that they do not close your case. And logging into the system is one very easy way to have continuous communication with them. They know when folks log in, so they keep a record of that. So logging in counts towards your communication with them within a year. So just make sure that you're doing that. We don't want cases closed because you have not had communication with them within the year. If you have any questions about your case, if you have any questions about hiring someone that's not a U.S. citizen, if you are looking to potentially expedite your green card and see if you can get yourself out of the EB2, EB3 perm-based backlog, feel free to reach out to my office. We're happy to get a consultation set up for you. And that is really all I have for you this morning. It's kind of a short morning. So have a great Monday and a wonderful rest of your week. And I will